Hello, my name is Susan Perpich, and this is my presentation for my final project in Library 246, Information Visualization. My presentation is on the Graduate Study Transfer Agreements at the University of Saskatchewan. A brief overview on my data. These agreements allow students in any of the participating universities to take courses in any other universities to count towards their degrees. These agreements are for graduate level students only, and I looked at only the incoming students to the University of Saskatchewan. So the three agreements are the Saskatchewan University Graduate Agreement. This is a provincial agreement. There's only two universities involved in this one, as there's only two universities in Saskatchewan. The next one is the Western Deans Agreement. This includes all the participating universities in Western Canada in the four most western provinces. The final one is the Canadian University Graduate Transfer Agreement. This includes universities across Canada, but at the University of Saskatchewan, they will only see students coming anywhere from east of Manitoba on this agreement. A bit about my design process is I understood who my audience was, and I knew that they would be looking for a lot of information. A lot of this information would create very cluttered visuals, so I created user-driven visuals to allow them to look for and find as much information as they wanted. I built these visuals in Tableau. Some of the questions I was looking to answer were where the students were coming from, which courses they were taking, when they were taking these courses, and which terms and courses were the most popular and why. So now to look at my visuals. The first one, I wanted to show where these students were coming from, so I created a simple map. In this map, I only am showing two of the agreements. I'm not showing the Saskatchewan agreement, since all of those students would be coming from one university. It was not necessary to show that on the map. It's very easy to see on this map some of the more popular locations where these students are coming from, and the user is able to hover over these dots to see exactly where these students are coming from. Since there are a number of universities in Ontario and Quebec, the user is able to zoom in to have a better look at the universities. Next, I wanted to show which courses are being taken. There are a lot of courses being taken by these students, so I grouped a lot of them into the separate departments. For example, education, there are about 15 different courses being taken, and I grouped them under education. This meant I was able to shorten my list significantly that way and create a much cleaner visual. The user is able to open up these groups to be able to see all of the specific courses being taken. They are also able to open it up one more time and see the different agreements that are being used for each of these courses. My next step, I wanted to determine which was the most popular terms. In this visual, I am just showing the actual term, not the term split up by year, and you can very easily see that winter is the most popular term, followed by spring, summer, and then fall. My next step was to split each term by the year. In this visual, I am showing all three agreements stacked on top of each other so that the user can easily compare the terms and agreements with each other. They can easily see that in January 2012, that the Western Deans Agreement and the Canadian University Agreement brought in a large number of students. They can hover over these bars for more information to see the actual numbers of students that came on each agreement for each term. Finally, I wanted to show some numbers for my user. Here, I created a highlight chart and I only chose the top 4 courses, since that was equivalent to 108 of the 178 total records, which is more than half the amount of students total students coming. It's very easy to see why winter is the most popular term, as the Agricultural Medicine 800 course and the Geography 827 course brought in a large number of students. And the spring summer, you can see in here that education is bringing in a lot of students in the spring summer term. I wanted to make this chart very user friendly so that the user could find as much or as little information as they wanted. They can filter out courses and look at just one, or they can look at all of them. They can open up the groups and see the specific courses that are being taken. They can open it up one step further and see the actual agreements. For example, veterinary medicine, there are only 2 courses that students are coming for, and they are only coming on the Canadian Agreement and the Western Deans Agreement. This is probably because the only veterinary medicine veterinary medicine program taught in Saskatchewan is taught at the University of Saskatchewan. So some of my findings were that most of the students were attending in the winter and the spring summer term. This initially I found a little odd, as the fall is the beginning of the school year. You would think a lot of students would be taking courses in that term, but that was not the case here. 35% of the students are taking Geography 827 and Agricultural Medicine 800. Both of those are courses offered in the winter term. That would be why the winter term was so popular. Geography 827 is a very specialized course in hydrology. It is offered in January for only 10 days and is very popular for people right across Canada to take it, since it is not offered anywhere else. Agricultural medicine is an interdisciplinary course that many students in different disciplines can take this as an elective. It is also a web-based course, which makes it very appealing to students across Canada. Education students are attending spring summer courses, and most of these students are coming from in Saskatchewan. The other university in Saskatchewan also offers an education program, and a lot of these courses are web-based courses, so that would be why students are taking these courses. Also, they're taking them in the spring summer because education graduate students are typically currently employed teachers, so they have the summer term off and therefore want to take as many courses as they can in order to complete their degree. So my conclusions and my recommendations would be for management to make sure they distribute work appropriately for the busy terms. These agreements they take a lot of paperwork, and there are a lot of work involved in making sure a student is registered for these courses. So in the winter terms, when there are a high volume of students coming in, management may want to look at not adding extra work to the advisors' plates, maybe not giving them extra projects to do at that time. Maybe save the projects for the fall term. Also, some of these units might want to look at adding more courses, specifically the education department, as they do a lot of web-based courses already. They might want to add some more to give students more variety and just entice more students to take these courses. This ends my presentation, so thank you for listening.